One of my favorite techniques for building capability in leaders is to have them do more professional reading. But unfortunately, when coaching clients, I'll often hear them say something like this: I don't really read books. And some even doubt the value or ROI of reading. And that really makes me cringe. Why? Because I can personally attest that reading, especially reading professionally, is worth every minute that you spend. My dad always used to say that if you want to know how to do something, go to the library. There's a strong likelihood that someone has written a book about that topic. You know what? To his credit, he was right more often than he was wrong. And that's even more so today because we have a vast world of information that's available to us and ready on the internet. Hi, I'm Kevin Rutherford. Welcome to RG's Talent Tips. Today I want to share why reading more is going to really help you at work, in life, and for fun. So let's dive right in. Sociologist William Cameron wrote that not everything that can be counted counts, and everything that counts cannot be counted. That's pretty spot on if you ask me. These are the things that can be counted or reduced to numbers. Those include things like dollars in your bank account, last year's sales figures, or the price of your house. And then there are other things that count but really resist quantifying them. And those include things like love, sunsets, good friends, and faith. You can count the number of books that you've read, of course, and I've done that for years. But basically, reading books is among the things that count but are difficult to be counted. So there are benefits, but it's not always easy to put a number on them. So let me touch on a few of those benefits that might help you see why. There are some books that shape who you are and how you live. I call these life shapers. The Bible is the most important of those for me. It's part of my 5 F's routine on faith. But it's not the only book that shaped my life. The Boy Scout Handbook was my Bible as a preteen and teen. It helped me grow as a person and as a young man. Add to that the dozens of merit badge pamphlets that I used to learn all types of skills, and ones that I still use to this day, provided a great foundation for life. I read Benjamin Franklin's autobiography for the first time when I was in college. It too shaped my habits and beliefs at a time when I was really trying to figure out what kind of adult man I wanted to be, and I still dip into that today regularly. Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl was a book that also helped shape my life. It shows that we have the ability to choose our response to every situation that we face, and that we can find meaning in our suffering. Now, some books don't shape the overall contours of your life, but they do teach you specific things that help you do what you want to do better. And here's a few that have done that for me. Now, one of my early mentors told me to read Peter Drucker's The Effective Executive, and then reread it every month for 1 year. He said to write down what I learned each time. And sure enough, the deeper I went with each reading, another nugget of wisdom just seemed to come to light. In fact, it's one of only 3 books that I reread every year. It's that good. It still gets my vote for the best business book ever, and I always seem to find myself tapping into Drucker's wisdom. Another book, Scrum by Jeff Sutherland, gave me a way of planning work that made me more effective. I also learned a lot about leadership in the military. But Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink took that to a whole nother level. It introduced me to the leadership principles that have enabled SEAL leaders and their teams to achieve extraordinary results, and then really explains how those insights can be applied to achieve success in all aspects of business and life. I love that book. Love his podcast. Check it out if you get a chance. Joseph Grenny's book, Crucial Conversations, had some stellar advice on how to avoid conflict and come to positive solutions in high-stakes conversations so that you can be effective in your personal and professional life. Another one, The 4 Disciplines of Execution by Chris McChesney, gave me techniques for tracking important work and progress. Now, there's also some books that aren't about specific techniques or about overall ways to live life. Instead, they introduce you to new worlds, they challenge your thinking and enrich your mind. Books that have done that for me, really for my entire life. So here's 2 recent examples. Daniel Kahneman's Thinking Fast and Slow shows you how two systems in your brain are constantly fighting over control of your behavior and your actions. And then it teaches you the many ways in which they lead to errors in your memory, in your judgment, and decisions, and then more importantly, what you can do about it. It was a real eye-opener. Another one that challenged me was 101 Essays That Will Challenge the Way You Think by Brianna West. Now the topics were wide-ranging and very thought-provoking. So let's switch to reading fiction, one that I consider for pure enjoyment. Now, I understand that reading fiction can help you develop emotional intelligence and all that, but that's not why I read it. I read it because it's fun, right? Once, I've discovered a book that I really like, I usually read it several times. And that's true for my all-time favorite novel, The Firm by John Grisham. I also love almost anything written by Ernest Hemingway. That's also true for any of James Michener's historical novels. Bottom line, you may still not agree with me, but you don't have to have a reason, ROI or anything, to read. You can read because you enjoy it. Find the joy in reading. But if you want to think of the ways that reading makes a difference for you, think about the ways that books that you've read really have shaped your life, taught you specific things, helped you learn about different worlds, or, just makes you absorb you really for hours. So, if you don't already have reading as a habit, you should really think about it. It's one of the cheapest forms of knowledge, soul-searching, and capability building that you can find. In fact, I believe every leader should read at least one book per month minimum. And hey, if you want some ideas on great books to read, check out our book club section on our website. You'll see over 200 of the best books that I've ever read listed out by year. I hope you enjoyed our video and learned something that you can apply right away. If you did and want more, please subscribe to our channel below and check out our website for even more content, handouts, and free tools that'll take you from where you are to where you want to be. Until next time.